Triumph and ChocoCheck. Pistol round has now begun. George gonna walk out here for Triumph, and it looks like Triumph are gonna heavily stack towards ramp, leading into Banana, and now they decide no, they're gonna send another player towards alt mid. That's gonna be hit from George. Really push our ChocoCheck down mid. Turismo gets the opener. Trade coming through from George. Turismo still standing, but look at Triumph go. They are charging down Banana, no hesitation. Carson waiting here with the smoke and will toss it. As flashbang comes through, Carson doesn't get blinded that badly, and Exceed goes down in turn. Carson looking for the second one, won't get it. B-site gain, bomb gonna be planted.
Bomb will go down. Turismo's here, hot on the heels. Bomb is planted for Banana, and that's where George is going to rotate in from. 60 Eyes picked up a USP. There's no kit down in the bodies of ChocoCheck, but I think there might be one somewhere in the near vicinity here. No utility in 60. He domes Turismo, and that's a good start here for Triumph. The pistol round would go a long way to boosting their confidence, something they desperately need right now to be upped. The good post plant is here for them. Hate and George in this bit of crossfire. One in water, one over towards Banana. Jazz Pimp clearing in. Looking back towards Speedway, no idea where the last is. Time already gone. Yeah, they might get a kill here. They've gotten one at the very least. Make it a second, but there's no chance for a defuse here. There will be kills for all 5 players on ChocoCheck, and CJ will fall to the bomb here. Contrary to that first pistol round on Mirage, he's not able to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, good on Triumph taking that early control of the bomb site. They got the trades they needed in order to get the bomb planted and held on very effectively. 60 shot to give them the advantage, of course, was quite pretty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what you come to expect from these Triumph boys, though. Everyone can hit those shots. 60, not the least of which, is expected to hit those shots. I mean,
Yeah.
He's a gnome pugger. He's a guy who can show up as the flashiest plays you'll see, and then on ChocoCheck, there's plenty of guys to counter that too. You can't really single out one player on that squad from Mirage that did better than everyone else. Everyone had their moments, so it's going to be a battle of the aim. It's going to be a battle of the team play, and let's see who can come out on top here. Force up for ChocoCheck. Triumph, 3 rifles, 2 MAC-10s, and early damage exchange onto Carson. I believe that was a nice little Carson, Eagles fan. It will betray his position and his life. And CJ's tagged down to 13-2. Jazz Pimp caught out in apartments. And now Triumph are starting to style here in round number 2.
Oh, yeah. They are looking good. Might not want to come down Banana here. Exotic is waiting with the Deagle, but he will get flashbang, so he falls back. Triumph are taking their time, which is important because they don't want to rush things. They have the 1-0 lead, 2-man advantage. Have to be careful and cautious. Turismo waiting in boiler with an MP9. Oh my goodness, could he create so many problems? They don't clear him out effectively. Oh, he gets the bomb! Right in his feet! Will go down. B-Wills gets an important trade. That could have been really disastrous, but the trade comes in. And now it's all at the CJ Exotic. This should be another Triumph round victory, but you have to be careful. Don't send the bomb in first thing towards boiler, right?
Yeah, and definitely leading the take with the bomb is a bad idea because if it gets dropped in a bad spot, it is almost unrecoverable. It gets spotted, the whole rotation comes over. It's just a bad Counter-Strike etiquette, to put it that way. Lead with the bomb. So, I guess it's just Triumph getting a little too overconfident there, and they're lucky they don't get punished for it. So, overall, I think they'll be happy with the way the round goes and unfurls. They'll have the win. They'll keep 4 alive, presumably, here. And at the end of the day, they have their lead, and that's what they need. B-Wills, he might fall, though, in second, get enough body block. 3 HP, the body block paid off, and, well, they keep their rifles.
Which is important. So now they walk into this next round. They're going to have 2 AKs, 2 Galils, and the MAC-10 on what is effectively a bonus round for them. That's a hell of a bonus round coming through from Triumph. Excuse me, not a bonus round. What am I saying? We're not there yet. They are
next
coming
round.
through. Yeah, next round. Ugh, it's getting late. It's okay. ChocoCheck gonna walk in here with a couple of Deagles, and they got 3 smokes, a flush, and a decoy. So a little bit of utility to help them out. And we saw that they can be very effective with those Deagles. So let's see what kind of answer they have. Are they gonna stack a site? No, it doesn't look like it. 3 players leaning towards the B site, and now Turismo goes for an untimely peek, and George will happily oblige with the headshot from the MAC-10. 5v4 in favor of Triumph.
Exotic's been flamed, but they know he's here now. Hey, you are lucky to be alive there. The shot just goes astray. George with the MAC-10 is going to be the one to open up the space for Triumph. Also build up a little bit of a bank here for the T side. They want to minimize their casualties and also build up as much as possible, so when ChocoCheck does eventually win a round, it's the least impactful as possible. There's a 3-stack here towards A, though, from ChocoCheck. They're reading it well. All the presence has been shown here. There's been no posturing whatsoever towards B. They still seem content to force the issue towards A, and now Zodic finishes the job he's trying to start earlier. Hate's been dropped, and they're going to walk right in. Here comes the bomb leading the charge again, John. This time, it might be costly.
They're playing with fire right now, our Triumph, and they luckily don't lose the bomb there. Zodic was waiting, holding the angle, and missed his shot. What was a F1 race car peek through there, and now Triumph is going to come through the B site. Jasmine was blinded, still managed to do a decent amount of damage to George, but that 60's there to get one. B Will's a second, and you know DJ does connect for one. Sorry, CJ connects for one, but I don't think there's going to be much more here. Zodic, you know, you have the full body armor, the Deagle. Maybe is the best play. No, he wants to try and get some frags here. He's going to continue to charge down from Church into this bomb site as the bomb ticks away, and there's nothing he can do. Yeah, he's surrounded by B-Wills. Couldn't get that shot with the Deagle, and Triumph will take a 3rd in a row.
Here is now where the real test begins. The guns are going to be out for ChocoCheck, and Zodic may very well possess the AWP. He does have the money for it, even with a vest. I think he's debating it. I would not be surprised if he goes for it in the end. There it is. Op, armor, and a smoke. Utility's a little lacking on Carson and Zodic, but I don't think they'll mind too much. It's going to be guns aplenty for Triumph here. The op shot of Zodic, though, does ring out. It does not connect, but now they know there's an op on site A. Good smokes come in as the A utility standards come through from Triumph. 60's gotten a lot of brackets control here, but Triumph don't seem too content to continue to force the issue here. They're just going to use a lot of their utility early, a considerable amount as the case may be, and just work their way around the map. Look if they can get a pick or two, it seems, and they're just defaulting around, getting a whole boatload of map control. They've drawn the extra rotation over from Carson on towards the A site and Speedway. So if they did try to go for the wrap towards B, it would not pan out too well. They've burned a lot of clock and a lot of utility, and they still don't seem to have made up their minds where they want to go. That's going to make things a little harder, though. Zodic opens things up onto Hate once again.
Yeah, Triumph got early control of Banana, but didn't really do anything with it, and you see Zodic getting that opening frag with the op. But Triumph will now move down Banana as a smoke greets them right at the tip of Carson. Drone has himself in the right side, so we can see players going over. Knows that someone's there, and I believe he connected on George to get him down to 50 HP. Carson is very much holding the fort here. There is a ChocoCheck. Carson gets one, but George trades him right on back. That said, CJ is here. Jasmine, he's going to take care of everything, though. Doesn't even need the reinforcements. 3K for CJ, and ChocoCheck have cracked the score.
Great M4 spray on a headshot. And the best M4 spray I've seen today from any one of these servers so far. Definitely a scary proposition for Triumph to have to deal with a player in towards dark, able to spray you down on your entry in. And, well, the first gun round is going to go the way of ChocoCheck. Triumph, they will not be deterred, though. Well, Hate, maybe he'll be deterred. He's on a Deagle only. But 60's picked up the big green gun. Zodic will still hold on to his, but this is ChocoCheck nicely. They have a lot of utility to play with this time, and B-Wills gets screwed over by that smoke. That is a CSGO moment. Unfortunate to the max there. He's burned down to 13. He should have about half his health, but no. The smoke does not do its job. And Exceed misses that entry opportunity over towards A. Triumph again falling to that same setup that they had last round that panned out poorly.
Not trending well for Triumph. As you mentioned, B-Wills unfortunately a lot of his health to that Molotov, but Carson around the very edge of the smoke catches off George. Jasmine then follows up with a frag on Exceed, who tries to support, and now Hate finally does do some damage and get a frag, but I mean that might be too little too late. Look at what's left after CJ finds Dixie. Hate with 26, B-Wills combined. So B-Wills does have that off, and he hits CJ, spots him out right before the smoke blooms, and hits the shot. But do they know Carson is here? player to be there since they throw that smoke, but they don't have any utility left for this post plant. Assuming they can get the bomb planted, and they will. Hate finds a frag as well, Austin.
The health, though, it's oh so low. 39 HP combined. There's flashes here for ChocoCheck, and Zodic has the op. So does B-Wills, but he's shut down. Hate now is to 1v2, and Zodic zeroed in on his position. That will not last forever, but 8, he might just have it. He sprayed Turismo down to 8. There's no way he pulls this off. Time is beginning to dwindle. Turismo knows where he is, but Hate swings around, hits the shot, and what a spray from Hate. A 4K comes through. His first kills of this map are all in one round in a 1v2. The headshot of Zodic, crisp and clean, and then the pre-fire onto Turismo to finish the job in the end. Hate steps up massively, and Triumph swing around back into their favor.
They couldn't kill him. He had 26 HP the entire time. They couldn't even hit him. Unbelievable. A 3K with less than a third of his health remaining, and Triumph hang on in a round that looked like it was going to be ChocoCheck's, but did a great job hitting those shots. Something that was missing on Mirage. Revitalized Triumph. That certainly is a round victory that can help immensely. And ChocoCheck on the half-by, but that is another opening frag for the ChocoCheck side. George gets a little too eager, goes up against the edge of the smoke, and Carson has the edge. But B-Wills gets things back under control, doesn't let that rifle get picked up, and will find the trick.
Carson got a little overzealous there too. Tries to go back and get the AK, I think, and he just runs into a hailfire of bullets. Nothing he can really do there, except for not over-aggress and give up the man advantage. But in the end, I think the rifle would have been a more valuable asset to them. Not achieved, though. So we do devolve into a 4v4. Triumph are going to hit towards the A site, though, leaving B-Wills to lurk over towards B. And look at Jazzpimp. He's abandoned the A site, John. It's a complete stack towards B. It is played perfectly and read perfectly by Triumph here. They're going to slowly take out towards A, clear all their angles, not let anything go unchecked. 60, though, again, entering out with the bomb, which is becoming a little scary. He's lucky there's nobody here. So far, they haven't been punished for it. If they don't get punished for this entire game, I will be incredibly shocked, but in the end, bomb goes down, and ChocoCheck are probably not going to force the issue all too much here. They don't have too much to lose, but do you really want to give the extra cash and the extra confidence over to Triumph? Not necessarily.
No, definitely not. But I mean, if you're poking prod a little bit, okay, well, Hate, clairvoyant there, spamming through the smoke, maybe heard something, a footstep perhaps, and then Jazzpimp does spot out B-Wills, so, I mean, I think they're just going to try and find some exit frags, which isn't necessarily a bad idea because they'll have plenty of cash in the bank in the next one with 2,900 hitting their accounts. Okay, Turismo gets Hate. I mean, this is going to hurt a lot more for Triumph to lose the manpower than it is for ChocoCheck. As the bomb will explode. Will it lose another man here? Well, let's see. He's trying to hunt a little bit more, hoping to get one, but he will not. So, at the very least, ChocoCheck does a lot of damage to the economy of Triumph, and now they're going to come right back at them with a rifle buyout.
Zodic will be back on his op. CJ will be dropped a rifle. And George will be dropped a UMP, so Triumph will keep that UMP into this round. Their money's still not in the best of spots. It is a swing round here early on. Only Zodic really has any residual cash. George, 60, and B-Wills over that 1K markup, but still not going to feel comfortable should Triumph lose without a bomb. That nade that does damage to B-Wills and 60, so good nade damage efficiency right there. A second nade is prepped by CJ. 60 burns down a little bit more. B-Wills down to 10 HP. And all out of that initial engagement down Banana. Triumph have a player in the red and a player just above 60. So ChocoCheck really winning the early Banana engagement, not holding onto control, but they do the damage, make things a lot easier for themselves moving on down this round.
110 remaining on the clock here. B-Will's actually lucky to be alive. There was a nade that flew down Banana, but it just grazed him for 1 HP of damage. It's Triumph have made their way into bracket. 60 claiming that space. Hate right behind him. Carson is waiting for Moto. It's Triumph. I mean, they need to make a move probably soon. Only 43 seconds left on the clock, and they don't have much utility left for this hit. Only a couple of smokes and 2 flashbangs. That's not going to make it easy on either side.
And that's going to make things more difficult.
Yeah.
Dry peeking into an op. you have the bomb all the way down T ramp. You're going to rotate in. Jasmine's holding in towards mini pit. There's another in big pit, one on site. This is a complete and total lockdown setup by ChocoCheck. There's no way Triumph can get into this site. Surely not. Turismo has to hold it all down solo. He's got one. Needs two more. At the very least, but Hate finds him through the smoke. Hate just seems to be seeing through everything right now. Glaive settings activated. He's seeing all he needs to, and now here's a headshot on the CJ. Where was this Hate on Mirage? Because John, right now, Hate is the best player in the server.
This is unbelievable. Over the last 3 rounds, he's got 90% of his frags. This is unbelievable. Exotic gonna try to come in here from Moto. He's got the Deagle out, relying on that instead of the AWP. Hits Hate, looking for the last one, knows where he is, position given away. Can he get for the shot? He will not. George gets the upgrade to the op, and he also finds his team another round victory. 6-1 in favor of Triumph. And indeed, at least early on, the tables have turned.
The very least they have, and the streak continues of teams so far today having weaker CT sides. As so far, it's a 6-1 scoreline, and Triumph are definitely dominating on their attack. Rounds have been close, but Triumph have been coming out on the edge of those victorious. This is the chance for them to build up some bank, but ChocoCheck are going for a half-buy here. Deagle's in hand, but Zotic shut down early. Melfed nade, though, does 7 damage to 60. That's not going to be the start they exactly wanted, but he already does have that opening pick onto the opposite opper. Doesn't have the op this round, but he has a lot of cash built up. Carson's been spotted great in on CT2. And the spray from George while blind finishes Carson off, who got tagged through the half wall. Jasmine up close and personal next. If they don't clear sandbags, though, they could be in for a world of hurt. And surely something does. No! CJ swings for 2! Nobody cleared the sandbags. And that's a bit of a blunder here. A costly round now it's become for Triumph. And Exceeds down to 50 HP, and Turismo pushing down has an opportunity for more. Exceeds ready for it, but this is still far from over.
Well, I mean, they're trapped. You got Turismo on the flank and Jasmine at the front. All right, well, Jasmine gets a little too eager, comes out there, and Turismo misses the shot. He had time to make there. They weren't even expecting him to be on that flank, but he misses the shot. Now they know exactly where he's coming from. So Triumph will indeed find a 7th round victory. And the thing is, I mean, Triumph, what we noticed when they were on that win streak toward the latter part of the previous map is that they kept losing a lot of manpower. They weren't coming out of rounds with more than 1 or 2 players. And in the first 3 rounds, well, maybe this one as well, that trend has continued. So they haven't been able to build up much economy for themselves. Maybe now is the start of that, but it's problematic, right?
It is problematic, but it is the T side too, so it's a lot easier to continually buy up. You don't need as much utility as the CT side does, nor does your gun cost $400 more, nor does your Molotov cost $200 more. There's a big cost increase, plus you have the $400 kit. So in the end, you're spending close to a grand extra on the CT side per player. And that's really going to come down to it. A lot of Molotov, the run boost, it fails to find anything. And Carson's been chunked down low. He's almost dead to the flyer, and he does burn alive to George. The Molotov car works out. George flashes himself in. He's opened up the B side single-handedly. He's just going to go full bore in. The bomb is following in Triumph. They were defaulting out, but after that, there's no reason why they shouldn't bulldoze their way in on towards B.
Well, there's going to be a frag in return here from Turismo. He finds the lurk of the seed, so that rotation should be able to come through free and clear for ChocoCheck. The problem is it's JazzPimp alone right now on the B site up against 4 Triumph players. He is making a little bit of noise trying to spam through the smoke and hopefully connect through to find a frag on one of these players, but I don't know. Turismo has the incendiary ready to go. He's going to throw that towards New Box. That's not a bad idea because you do have a player there. And Zotic, what a flick that was. He gets one, and then so does Turismo, but 60 is waiting, and he finds the 2K. Zotic now going to have to clutch it out in the 1v2. He gets one time taken away on the bomb, though. B Wills just waiting, and waiting, and his patience is rewarded. The bomb would have exploded anyway, and Triumph have taken a lead guaranteed into this second half of action.
They take the lead in, but it's another costly round. 3 times now they've had 1 survive. If you count the round they've won where all 5 died, they've now had 4 rounds where 1 or less survive, 5 where 2 or less survive. Only 1 round have they had where 4 or more survive. So for Triumph, their economic straits are still dire. 60's limited to a MAC-10 here in this round. Again, against the armor and the pistols, it's not necessarily too big of a deal, but that nade strike does so much to both him and B-Wills. ChocoCheck are giving themselves another chance with the pistols to pick up a round here. That's what's always dangerous about these squads. They can always find the damage with the pistol rounds.
Eagles' position. He's fully blinded, though. Doesn't really see much of anything. That gives George and 60 a chance to calm things down a little bit. Couple of frags found. 4v3 in favor of Tramp, but you still have George and 60 who are very lit, so Tramp have to be careful and wary of the possibility that these ChocoCheck players can fly around the corner with a deagle and turn this round on its head, but they're going to continue their trek down Banana. CJ's waiting, connects on a shot on George, gets him down to 11 HP, and George is not going to repeat that. Quick Molotov thrown, and CJ swings around to get 2! Oh man, 60 and George go down, Turismo finds hate, uh-oh. Exceed the last one standing just like that, and the pistols do indeed do the damage. Triumph couldn't find the trade, and now Exceed has to do it by himself. He walks up slowly, looking for targets on the B side, finds it. There's Turismo down, and will throw a smoke for himself to get this bomb planted. Zotic is very far away. Should he choose to go down Banana, he probably would have found a rifle for himself, but instead goes in from CT and will attempt to clutch this 1v1.
Exceed is expecting initially, but he misses the timing. He'll go back and just catch. Oh, he just misses Exotic. This is the opportunity. The deagle rings out and hits the shots. And Exotic clutches up here. Triumph. They finally lose one of these close rounds, these 1vx situations. And Exotic is the one to put the final nail in that coffin. Exceed a little too antsy there, going back and forth and back and forth. Sometimes you just gotta pick an angle and stick with it. ChocoCheck. They finally grab a second round here, cutting that deficit. And we'll see Triumph Spy is going to be far from ideal in terms of B-Will's economy. A timeout's going to be called too by Triumph to really figure out what they want to do, because Exceed's not wealthy either. This is a very strange situation to be in.
It really is, and I mean, you're going to see B-Wills having to settle for a Tech 9. Hate and 60 should be able to buy up comfortably, but like you said, Exceed has to make a choice here. Do you go for the SMG, or do you perhaps go on the pistol and get full armor and full utility? It's a tough choice for this squad, but it is going to be a MAC-10. He does have enough for the MAC-10 and almost full utility, so he'll settle for that. And a couple of AKs are bought up by Hate and 60, so it's not a bad buy-up, but all those rounds, as we mentioned, that came down to 1 or 2 players in the victories there for Triumph are now costing them. We'll see if ChocoCheck can continue to punish, as they've got 4 M4s and the AK coming into this round. And honestly, that was really well done from them with the pistols once more. We saw it on Mirage when they were dominating pretty much from beginning to end. But here, it could be that they're planting the seeds of a comeback.
Those seeds could take a little bit of time to water, time to grow, but ChocoCheck, they've started things off well. They can close that gap, finish out 6-9, even 7-8. That would be ideal, but even 6-9 would be more than good. All that utility damage works out for Jasmine, but he sprays through, making a third to the smoke. Switches to the USP, cut out by George, which sells 2v3. And CJ finishes George off. Bomb is dropped down towards lane. 60 knows where one is, picks up the bomb. Molly's towards Turismo, who's actually in front of him. Willie, but he wins that duel, but it's not clean. He'll try and run out. Oh. And Carson's ready for it. Catches him with open arms. And ChocoCheck, 2 straight rounds, closing the gap here. And look at the money on Triumph. It is gone.
Yes, indeed. As, well, ChocoCheck very happy with that round victory. Zotic has really got a lot of cash to work with into this round, so it should be a pretty comfortable buy-up for ChocoCheck. For the most part, it is. They got 2 M4s, the AK, the Opt in Zodic's hands, and the FAMAS for Turismo. Turismo's just going to immediately toss a nade down mid. They got a Molotov as well. They're just trying to hem Triumph in towards that ramp here, Austin.
Triumph do have a little bit of utility. They've used a lot of it already, but they still have a flashbang. Exceed's going to eat that nade, and Turismo's going to go a little aggro onto Hate. He'll do some damage here. Not quite the kill just yet, and Hate will fade away. Exceed will challenge, but think better of his options. Zotic holding over towards Banana. Smoke will dissipate. Nobody swings into him, so Triumph They've faced a little bit so far, and they are worse for wear here. Both Exceed and Hate down to about that 50% mark, a little bit lower for Hate. They're going to have to try and mob this site, though, if they want an opportunity. There's no armor, so Turismo should be able to farm despite being with a FAMAS here. This is the prime opportunity for the FAMAS. It's not quite an M4 and against armor, but against the unarmored opponents, it can farm. He makes himself a double. CJ chimes in with one more. Beagle somehow manages that one in almost a second onto Carson. Well, he probably won't get more here. He'll be hunted in the end, but he can get a parting gift, another kill. Go a long way to harm the CT economy. Does not manage it. Carson doesn't aggress. CJ does, and he will finish that job. Gap cut to half here now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's exactly what Triumph needed. A clean anti-eco coming through from ChocoCheck. They have 4 players that come through. They build up their economy pretty well across those 4 players. Maybe Turismo a little low, but that means that even if they lose this round, they'll still be set up for a buy-up in the following one. Whereas Triumph, well, I mean, they've just spent every penny that they have into this one. 4 players on 0, and Hate, the only one with cash left in the bank after this buy with $50. So ChocoCheck have a chance to really make this a much draft than oh no, Turismo goes down. What happened?
1G, he burned in his own molly. That was a bizarre molly spread, but as the dust settles and the smoke clears, ChocoCheck are up 2 men and Hate's down to 44 HP. They are dominating again, John. It looks like they've solved this puzzle of the Triumph T side. And ChocoCheck, this is looking like what they played like a Mirage towards the final stretch of things of their CT side. And then if ChocoCheck gets their T side going like they did on a scary proposition for Triumph. The bomb at the feet of 2 of ChocoCheck, 2. Zodix here with the op. Carson's up close and personal with an AK. Doesn't look easy for Triumph to retake this position. It's a dangerous hallway. It's a hallway of death and doom.
Yeah, I mean, you know, although Turismo did go down in his own found the frag right before it, so there was some semblance of well, something that came out of it at the very least. And Jasmine Bay is going to get this last one, so ChocoCheck make it look easy again, surviving with 4 players for 2 rounds in a row, something that Triumph cannot say they've done, I don't think, for any single streak of round victories throughout this BO3. So they're going to build up a good chunk of economy once more for themselves. Triumph, well, they're likely going to go for the half buy and get ready for what will be potentially an 8-6 or even 8-7 half. Run boost coming through here for ChocoCheck. Sonic connects on 60, but he can't find the killing blow. That's a leg shot, Austin.
Leg shot, but the job is finished by Turismo, who's really starting to heat up here. You know, it's good to see him finding the form after his hiatus. Zodic will pick up another. CJ adds another to the tally for ChocoCheck, and it just seems to be crumbling like the round should for Triumph, considering their lack of investment, lack of firepower here. CJ thinks better of dropping down. Carson baits it out and gets his toes shot off there. And drop down dead. Only 1 for B was in that position. Still 1 more than he could have asked for. And, well, free kill for Heat, but bad result overall for Triumph. And the gap has been obliterated. It's 1 round is all 2 round. And it could be 1. There's a chance for an 8-7 half. You told me at an 8-1, I would never have believed you. 8-1 for Triumph. Okay, they're going to run away with this half. ChocoCheck had other ideas.
Oh, yeah.
And it started with that pistol round win by Zodic.
Yeah, not to mention, of course, the fact that they kept Triumph honest round after round after round. Now they got 5 in a row, looking to make it 6. And look, I mean, 8 rounds T-side Mirage is not bad by any means, but the thing is, it could have been a lot better for Triumph if they were a little more effective on their anti-ecos. Anyway, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. We're in round number 15 of this first half. Map number 2, ChocoCheck has the 1-0 edge, and now Triumph does find that opening frag. Turismo a little too eager coming out of those apartments, and ChocoCheck taking a lot of utility damage already. Carson down to 40, Zodic at 47, so they need to play a little more passively as a result. They can't go for any more aggressive plays, but they will pace their utility quite well here, and Molotov goes into those apartments towards the A site. Jasper still has an incendiary left in his utility belt, but that's going to be thrown right here into mid. That means that there's no more slowing Triumph aside from throwing smokes. Excuse me. No more slowing Triumph aside from throwing these smokes down to the ground.
Speaking of slowing down Triumph, they're going to fade away here and make their way towards B. It's a bit of a fake thrown, but I think ChocoCheck will wise up to this pretty quickly, especially once Carson starts hearing things come through. Utility starts bouncing around. The op scopes are here. Oh, he's caught out. Nobody on the boost for George to find. The rotations will come through, all through CT spawn for ChocoCheck as the bomb goes down. There's no real hold utility for Triumph. They have a molly and a flashbang. Contrast that to four flashbangs rather for ChocoCheck. One smoke for the CT side as well. Those flashbangs starting to rain through. And Jaspim's already closing the gap here with the AUG in hand. They bet they wish they had a Molotov that'll flush out these angles of Dark and New Box. Jaspim fades away, more utility being used. Zodic failing to find an entry with the AWP. Looking for a window back in. B-Wills though, as it's George with it. B-Wills shut down by Exotic. And George has all three from New Box though. And Triumph. They will triumph here. Half number one. We'll be back after a break.
All right, we're back here. Second half of action going to be underway in just a few moments. Triumph and ChocoCheck going at it. ChocoCheck have the 1-0 map edge, but Triumph managing to eke out a 9th round victory out of that first half that looks so dominant for them early on. But credit to ChocoCheck for fighting their way back into it, getting 5-round victories in a row and making it very close.
Yeah, realistically, getting an 8-7 out of an 8-1 scoreline is not exactly very likely to happen, but ChocoCheck did get the best out of that situation. They got a 9-6. They might beat down, but a pistol round victory here can completely tie up this game, and that's exactly what ChocoCheck wants to do. They're going to flood over towards the B side here. Utility is going to follow up. Smokes on 2. Flashbangs are being used. taking shots down range, doing a good amount of damage, but here comes B-Wills. He's got the first headshot. 60 still dashing around. B-Wills jumps away, but 60 comes in with P2K. B-Wills still harassing over from Graveyard, but 60 continues his push up through CT spawn. Gets finished off though, however, B-Wills still lives and sees come up for one more. Jasper drops, faces into 3, and now it's all down to CJ 1v4. Smoke in hand, probably not the best utility to have in this situation. Exceed will hold the bomb, and Triumph, they will win the pistol round here, but they do surrender the bomb plant. So ChocoCheck can get some rifles up in hand. I don't think they'll go too heavy though, given the fact they only got 1 kill.
Yeah, CJ was just trying to think, what can I do with the smoke? Is there anything? And no, there wasn't. I mean, would have been better if it was a Molotov, maybe even a flashbang. But nothing could be done. So it's going to be double digits hit for Triumph out of that pistol round. But, you know, you do get the bomb plant if you're ChocoCheck, and you can force up around it. That's exactly what they're going to do here. You should be able to get some Galils in action, you would think. No, they go for 2 MAC-10s and 3 Deagles. They want that full utility. I can't really blame them. I like this call.
I agree. I really like the fact they're going for full utility here. I think it's a very disciplined and wise call. And something I think we might see a little more of moving down the stretch here, because that utility can open up the site. If you have Galils, you're relying completely on your aim. You have the utility, you can give yourself the opportunity to get those kills for much easier and much more free. Full B play, though, from the looks of things for ChocoCheck. The mollies are out, the smokes are ready to go, the flashbangs ready to rain in, an HG for CJ2 for good measure. There's 2 players here to defend. It's B, Wills, and George. The 2 M4s for Triumph to shut this down. That nade, though, it's a lot of damage. George will just about dash to the site. Carson's already getting through towards Church. George is broken alive. He has no more. He manages 2 on his exit. That's insane for George, something he is not expected to manage. He gets a 3rd as well. Carson swings for 1, but only 1. And Hate finishes off Exotic. George, that was an incredible play. He's flamed out of position, stuck in the open, running around. He has just 3 kills on this. That, I don't know how he gets the 3rd kill. That's spam with the USP. That's huge for Triumph. That's what wins them the round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, George, that's like you said, you put it quite well. He just charges up from the fire and the flames and gets that 2K. I thought that Carson would have an edge, though, because he got all the way through to CT and into Church and cycled around from coffins. If his teammates are able to get 1, maybe 2 frags throughout all of that chaos, he could probably have come in and done the killing blow. But at the end of the day, it's just 1 frag and done for him. And now ChocoCheck only have the Deagles. They're once more on a half buy, and I mean, what happened to the ChocoCheck that was forcing up every single round on Mirage? They're playing much more disciplined here, and look at that. Turismo is going to get that headshot on B-Wills to open things up for ChocoCheck. Hate finds the trade, but they keep charging on forward. Turismo uses the picked up M4 to find another one for himself, and now Exceed's going to pick up the, well, not pick up, he's going to have the UMP-45. Get a couple of frags, make it a 3-piece. Nicely done. Jasmine, the last one standing, and you don't often see the UMP-45 bot up. Is favored. So far it's working for Exceed. Jaspin finds the headshot on George, so hope not lost yet for ChocoCheck on a round that they did not invest much into, but they finally get shut down by Exceed, who finds himself a 4K and an upgrade to an M4.
Costly round, though, for Triumph. They lose 3 players, and that's going to hamper their economy very significantly moving into the early stages of this half, and it gives ChocoCheck an opportunity to reset Triumph after winning 2 rounds in a row. Actually, maybe even, no, okay, it will be 2. Because they can still scrap together a buy, knowing Triumph, they will go for a force here, especially if they can save a gun or 2. But that's also saying that Triumph are going to lose the round. We have no idea if they are going to win or lose. ChocoCheck definitely hoping that Triumph lose this next round, but that all depends on how ChocoCheck want to play this one and how Triumph can counter. They're going to go for an initial 3 stack towards B, but that's going to fade away. Hate will rotate back towards the A side as ChocoCheck will default around the map. 1 bottom mid, 2 towards bottom banana, 1 apartments, and 1 top middle.
Hey, gonna fly forward from Turismo to the truck side. Now he throws the Molotov arch and just trying to give his team a little bit of space to work with. As ChocoCheck have the AKs across the board. B-Will's going for the aggressive play after a flashbang is thrown by George, but after not seeing anything, decides to throw the smoke. Wait for ChocoCheck to come to them.
ChocoCheck seem to be biding their time. They're throwing some utility around the map. They're defaulting around, still looking for an opening pick, and Triumph are not going to give it to them. Turismo, though, gets a little bit of damage out towards B, or A, excuse me, over in Pit. That's Exceed to deal the 1 shot of damage worth. And still, the posturing from ChocoCheck is over towards A, but the bomb is towards B, and with the time dwindling down to 30 seconds, they have to make a move. And that move is going to be to pressure the A site. There's no real utility to stall here for Triumph. They only have flashes and a nade. But 6C's on the information. Exceed has that first. That's all he'll need. Now it's 6C's time to shine. One kill, not a second though. And now with Exceed falling down, it's a 3v3 and an opportunity for ChocoCheck to steal this round.
Oh no, is it happening again? This was a 2-man advantage for Triumph, and ChocoCheck just walk in, drop Exceed and 6E, take the A site, and look at this utility. It's not good for Triumph. Only a couple of flashbangs to work with. Exotic, throws the smoke towards Moto. Jazz ahead of Hayden, also swings around to drop George. A 3K for him on this round. B-Will's the last one standing, and he's just going to have to retreat again. 2-man advantage evaporates for Triumph. They're unable to close out this round on the defense. Oh man, are we going to see more of the same from them? The CJ side, as we saw in Mirage. This is a little scary if I'm Triumph right now.
A little scary. ChocoCheck, when they get rolling, they are hard to stop. They gain all that momentum of a rolling stone, and they definitely don't gather any moss. They might take a little bit to make their play, but once they do, it's a hard hit. Jazzpimp in that hold, incredibly precise. And now Triumph's money is in a bit of a weird spot. They're going to go for a rifle on B-Wills. Deagle's on 3, and Hate's just going to go for a Zeus. This is an interesting medium between going for an investment and not going for one. They're going to have a little extra for utility in the following round, but this doesn't really give them much of a chance to win this one, and is almost conceding an 8th to ChocoCheck. We're going to close that gap to 4. Triumph, they only need 4 rounds to win this map and send us to Overpass, but this could be a very long 4 rounds for Triumph, and it might not even be achieved.
I'm a little worried for them, honestly. There are so many question marks on their CT side. Sure, they opened up with 3-round victories. That's just off the pistol round. Now, rifle rounds and things are starting to look a little shaky. Turismo takes down Exceed, and of course, this one is a weird buy-up for Triumph. They have the one pistols. As 6E spots out a couple of players, Turismo takes down. Hey, George gets the trade, but I mean, they're just going to get overloaded with the numbers at this point. A chance, but taking care of B-Wills. Boosted up on the flower pot, did get a couple, but no more. 8th round on the board for ChocoCheck, and their economy is all right. Not too bad. They did lose 3 players into that round, but yeah, Triumph are going to be back on the rifle buy-up here now.
Opt for 6E, B-Wills will be relegated to the MP9 as he invested into an M4 in the last round. Zodic will not have an AWP in hand. It's going to be 5 rifles for ChocoCheck here. We're looking to push the issue even further, looking to close this gap even more. They can reset Triumph once again by winning this round. But 6E and company are going to have other ideas. It's a very passive play over towards A. B will be aggressed upon a little bit with some utility. Jasmine taken down to 55, but the MP9 swing spots out nothing. With that boost up for the seat on the flower pot. Jasmine, how are you alive, son? He's just eating the frags.
Just swallowed that. I mean, down to 6 HP. Exceed is going to spot out Zodic, though, so there's the start that Triumph were hoping for. And of course, with Jasmine down to 6 HP, this is very much trending in their favor. I'd have a 2-man advantage. 3 players waiting here on the side for Triumph, and 6E is going to connect over one. Turismo gets a trade, and now CJ drops 8. Are they going to do it again? No, no, no. Triumph, you cannot lose another 2-man advantage. CJ gets a wicked 2K. George and B-Wills are the last 2 standing, and again onto this A site with only 2 pieces of utility, and they throw them immediately. They're trying to convince ChocoCheck that they're going to come from Arch side, but I mean, CJ's not buying it. He's got 97 HP. He's in a prime position to take care of these 2 players. Jaspimp, well, he's just going to watch for the op. He's very vulnerable at only 6 HP. but the position is not too shabby. Jasmine now going to be watching arch side. Yeah, they got a crossfire set up here. Jasmine finds one. B-Will's the last one standing. I don't think he's going to be able to do this. No time and no life left. CJ the 3K, another two-man advantage squandered by Triumph.
How many does that make at this point?
I think it's 4 or 5 going back to Mirage.
I agree. It's too many as it stands, but 4 or 5 across 2 maps, this is something that you look back upon, especially in critical situations like that where your money is gone after you lose that round. It can set you up for failure here. ChocoCheck should be able to grab that double-digit scoreline. They should be able to get 10 rounds. Should be 1 nade here for Triumph. That is it. Full suit of utility for ChocoCheck. Mac 10 for Turismo to open things up. He'll go in first and foremost. George will burn and be finished off mainly by Turismo, who's going to continue just rushing in towards the site. Nothing not to. He'll deal more damage than A. B will finally finish him off, but the Molly Carson will do him instead. Lots of damage being exchanged back and forth between the two teams, but ChocoCheck doesn't really seem in danger of losing this round, John. It seems like it's just a matter of time before they grab 10, and then once the guns are back in the hands of Triumph, I want to see a timeout from them. I need to see a timeout from them so they can talk things over, because obviously what they're doing, it ain't working. No,
I mean, they just came in with pistols in this round, so it's okay, you know, I mean...
This round, yeah, but going back to the last few.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that they've ended up in the same situation in full control, 2-man advantage, and again, just ending up, wow, I mean, giving ChocoCheck a couple of rounds effectively. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from ChocoCheck. Those are some very nice plays they had to pull off, especially the 2K from CJ. It's pretty wicked coming out of the apartments, but if you're Triumph, the trades have to come in. You had 3 players, 3, waiting on the A site to deal with that push, and they couldn't do it. Time was going to be called now, actually not by Triumph, by ChocoCheck, as they want to talk things over.
Not mad about this call by ChocoCheck either. They want to let the tilt sink in, maybe, perhaps. Just let them stew, or just have a plan they want to go for, or maybe somebody just wanted to go get some water or something. It could be any number of reasons, and it's probably completely innocuous knowing ChocoCheck. But either way, they've started to really take control of this map here. Triumph, they seem walled out. 60's going to get the op, but he'll have no utility whatsoever. Hate will have a smoke and a molly. And I'm not seeing a defuse kit for Triumph.
Uh-oh.
This is scary. That round where they lost that last 4v2, they also did not have a kit.
Not that that would have made a difference in that situation, but I mean, here, you have to factor in the kit, at least on one player. Maybe Exceed or B-Wills. I would say Exceed, buy a kit instead of, I don't know, Incendiary or a Flashbang. Deal with the push. Or try to deal with the post. Anyway, Exceed and 60 make it another 5v3. And they hang on this time to a 2-man advantage. Now they make it a 3-man advantage, but the bomb gets planted on the A site. Smoke and a fly through from Turismo towards the apartments. Gets a lot of utility tossed truck side. Gains some space for himself. Hate gonna eat a little bit of damage, but not too bad. Not too bad. B-Wills drops Turismo, and only CJ. CJ's one and only one. No heroics this time for ChocoCheck. That is how Triumph should have closed out the previous ones, but it's good to see them finally get the job done and have a 13th on the board.
Triumph, 3 rounds away now from taking us to a final map of this series of Overpass. But those 3 rounds, they seem to be very hard fought, although Triumph finally do capitalize with a good round. The timeout pays off for them, I have to say, John. They responded well after the back of that, even though they didn't call it to take full advantage. And now they've got 3 AKs to work with in this round, the op for 60. So for Triumph, they're in a very comfortable position economically as well. So if they can win this round, they can reset ChocoCheck and put themselves en route to grab that 16th.
Yeah, I would say that ChocoCheck might have one more in the bank after this, but you're right. Turismo and Exotic are quite low in terms of money. I think it might be a round that ChocoCheck gamble. Should they lose it 14-10, they might gamble and go for the ball. Trade's going to come through here, though. Turismo and Hate each getting a frag for their respective sides and a 4v4, but look at the Triumph players are 60 and B-Wills down to 15 and 68 HP respectively. Everyone, as I was starting to talk about that, we're close to 100 HP on ChocoCheck. Exotic does take a little bit of damage, but HP edge still lies in ChocoCheck's favor. And their
Look at their
position is not
position.
too shabby either. Yeah, they're already up Arch. They could easily. George gets a 2K coming around that corner. Jasmine Benzotic, his victims. Now it's up to Carson and Turismo. 2 matches for Triumph, and again they shut the door. Here we go. Triumph up to 14.
This is what we expect to see from Triumph. Plays like that, winning their duels, playing together and working things out well. Good rotations coming into, even if George doesn't get those kills, it's still going to be very difficult for ChocoCheck to really do anything. The Molly was going to come in through B-Wills, and overall, it was a good setup for Triumph here. And ChocoCheck, they're going to half here. I really like this call. They're not going to go for a gamble they don't need to take. They can get some kills. They've had success on rounds akin to this, and, you know, they want to make sure they can battle back at full force.
All right. I mean, they do have the Galil in Jaspim's hands, and he's firing it off quite a bit, maybe trying to convince Triumph that the rifles are going to come out here for ChocoCheck, so that forces them back off of Banana. Molotovs fly through as well, but that's the last of the utility for ChocoCheck. They're going to have to dry peek around CT. Oh, that nade! Super meaty going down Banana. That gives Hayes right now. That should be a 4th, but it's George to cap things off. There's the 15th round that Triumph are looking for. Now they only need one more to send us to Overpass.
Be the first unique map we see today if we do get to go to Overpass, but ChocoCheck will be up around. We'll see now if we're lucky to do that 98-4 or 88-4 as the case may be, but still, great mop up there from Hate. That nade, though, initially, fantastic way to start things off. No op for Zodic, though, for ChocoCheck. They have a decent amount of utility, but they are lacking in the Molotovs, particularly Carson only having 1 flashbang for utility, and Jasmine does not have a helmet, so he is vulnerable to the 1-tap from Hate's M4. CJ, though, getting into bedroom, gonna have some information. Perhaps the Molotov will forward, and Hate will capitalize, although that's a very costly engagement. Nice nade onto Turismo, though, from Exceed. I don't think they know he's up on porch either.
Oh, B is very weak, though, for Triumph. 60 does spot out Turismo, but the other 3 players for ChocoCheck are walking into a 3v1 advantage. They only have to deal with George, who's really easy to take down, and he's going to find 1 and the 2nd. This looks like it's going to be Triumph. It is 16-10 in their favor. They take Inferno, look a lot more comfortable towards the latter part of that second half, and